blues won't haunt you anymore. With a brave heart, breathing lover's soul, come ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate to break down the garden gate. There's not much time left today. Life is a highway.
All right, 6 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Monday morning. I think the tree frog or the barking frog is gone now from the window. Matt Gibbs is in the studio. He's here to answer your questions about your car. Matt is the owner of Sunrise Automotive, and this show is called Auto Repair with Personal Care. The number to call Matt during the show is 622-9622. That is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. Good morning, Matt. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Larry. How are you?
Pretty good.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
So, with all this talk of smart cars,
Yeah?
I think the smarter cars get, the better we're going to be, because drivers are getting stupider and stupider. That's my thinking.
Okay.
I don't want a smart car, though.
That's my thinking.
Okay.
Do you know?
Do you want one? Say the car could drive itself. Do you want that car?
Gosh, do I want it? No, but I want everybody else to have it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. Matt's probably the same one. I don't want the stupid car driving for me, but I want the stupid guy next to me in that car.
Do you know? I
I just
remember.
want the car to drive to my shop.
Do you know what I remember?
What's a cab?
I remember as a kid. Way before I could drive, there was talk about in the future cars will drive themselves, and I thought, oh please, I don't want that. When I get to be able to drive, I want to be able to drive. I can remember that thought. I did not want that in my future.
Yeah.
Of course, it might be right around the corner.
Well, that's what you thought when you were young, but what about now that you're old?
Yeah, right. Now that I'm old. Well, not to bring up a sad subject, but it's applicable because in the funeral for Trooper Richard last week, one of the speakers, who was a trooper himself, addressed the governor who was at the funeral, and he said, as long as you're here and as long as I have a microphone, let me tell you something. I don't know who the knucklehead is that wants to raise the speed limit on the interstate, but we should be lowering it to 55 when it rains and keep,
That's nuts.
So you don't think it's a
No,
good idea?
I think it's an idiotic idea.
But he said, the trooper said, the drivers out there are not good. We don't have good drivers anymore.
So then get the driver test better. Get a better driving test.
That might be the answer, yeah.
Get a thing that says, I got to drive in a slow lane because I'm old and stupid.
So you don't think technology is the answer?
Technology can help.
Well, see, old and stupid. It could be young and stupid,
Yeah,
too.
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So everybody over a certain age and under a certain age.
No, take the test. If a 79-year-old can drive 95 and do it safely, then let him have the little thing on his license. No?
I'm good.
Have you ever had to install a breathalyzer in a car?
No.
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 Have you ever had to uninstall one?
I've had to call a customer and say, can you come down here and breathe in your car, please? 'Cause I need to pull it in the shop.
You have?
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, really? So the car broke down and you couldn't do anything with it until
They
he...
didn't really break down. They just brought it in for service and they left. And I went out there to start, and they, well, it's not going to, no, I need some help here.
Why, you couldn't breathe into it?
It wouldn't work for me.
Really?
It had to go and it was
Kind of fingerprint identification?
it was
It knew it was him, huh?
Retina scan? DNA, maybe?
Wow.
I'm not putting my mouth on his mouth.
No, sir.
But you
they
could have put a
haven't.
condom on it or something and blown through it.
There's out of condoms there, Larry.
Well, I mean,
Wow, where's this show going?
Yeah, I know, right?
I didn't mean
Well,
that.
I had my
kind.
mouth condoms over there in the other pocket,
Wait a
so
minute.
I didn't have them with
The
me.
word condom doesn't always mean sexual. It could be a prophylactic then.
Okay.
You could put some kind of a protective device on there.
Okay. I protect it. Sometimes
Now-
I need to put one on my
When
whole body
you
to get
put the
people's
piece of
cars.
paper down on the floorboard,
Yeah.
that's a protective device.
Sometimes it's to protect me.
In my car, it is.
Yeah, I know, right? Mine too, yeah.
All right, so wow, so you couldn't start his car because you.
No, he had to. There were some things he had to do to it. It was really.
So he had to come and actually be the
yeah,
one.
he had to get brought back.
Wow.
And then he showed us how to do it.
You had something you want to talk about earlier. Did you remember it again?
Well, I got a question for the folks that are listening,
Oh, okay.
and I had a woman that's a frequent listener to the show.
Uh-huh.
She came by the shop Friday, and she said, "Can I talk to you?" And she went to another garage that
Okay.
they put out all the coupons, and she said, she went there to have her air conditioner checked, and she came in to talk to me about, what would I charge to check the air conditioner. And when we got into this discussion, it kind of made me realize something that you know, a lot of times things are promoted, things are put out there, coupons are made, you know, Mint magazines, whatever, you know, that are just kind of they're leaders.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, she needed to have her air conditioner checked, and when you bring this coupon in, is for $19.95. And I looked in, you know, she didn't tell me where she got the coupon from, so I just started looking this weekend, looking at different ads and stuff, and I could see where, you know, you could bring your car down there for $19.95, and then Freon's extra, and this is extra, or $89.95 brake job, you know, and they put the cheapest brakes that they can on them. And I just wanted to, you know, if anybody out there if they've had an issue or a circumstance or a story behind that, would like for someone to call and maybe share what their experience has been in that.
But it wouldn't be bad if everything was on the up and up. In other words, if you came in with your, well, if you came in with a coupon that said you got a $19.95 oil change, which you've already explained why that's not a good idea, but let's say you do, you take that big hit as the mechanic, and then you legitimately find something wrong, and you legitimately warn the owner of the car about that. As long as the word legitimate is real, then I don't see a problem with it.
Well, and
because you guys do the same thing without the coupon,
right? If the oil change is $19.95, the oil change is $19.95. That's the difference. See, people come in all the time and say, "Can I get my car serviced?" You know, I was talking to Joe. He was talking about servicing his truck before I came in on the air, and you know, can I bring in my truck to bring it in and get it serviced? When people say that to me, it means it's different. I hear it differently than if someone comes in and says, "Will you change my oil?"
but you got to know what we mean, because we don't know what we're talking about.
Well, a lot of times I listen to the customer. The customer tells me what they're asking for. They're asking for a service, or they're asking for an oil change. And a lot of times when someone comes in for an oil change and you go and you legitimately find that it needs a belt, and they take that offensively. They say, "Oh, he's trying to get me."
Right. I bet they do.
But if they come in and say, "Can I get my car serviced?" they're expecting the fluids filled, the tires checked, the hinges lubed. They're expecting those things. That's what they brought it in for. So, a lot of times we listen to how the customer speaks, and we try to listen to their language.
Right.
And
so, but the sales technique of publishing a coupon is really not. I mean, in and of itself, not.
No, it's just the context of it. You know, the content of it, I guess, and what's behind it. I did the $89.95 brake job once. I did it once. You can't do the job that you're supposed to do for $89.95.
Right.
It costs too much to
Take your
do
word
it.
for it.
There's a company. Did you see the 2020 report that came out a few years ago on a brake type thing for that exact reason? And they would damage things. They were doing terrible practices, and it was 9 out of 10 stores of a chain of these brakes that were doing damages to the just to upgrade, just to get that
upsell.
Yeah, because they knew they couldn't do it for $89.99. They knew it was impossible. So even if their brakes were perfect, and that's what they did. 2020 brought in perfect vehicles with perfect brakes, and then they did a couple that they know one brake pad was that, and suddenly everything was wrong, no matter what the car was.
But see, that's the unethical. Didn't you say, Matt, that you one time had one of those undercover people try to fool you, and you passed all their tests?
Yeah.
See, that's the big. I would rather just give me a mechanic I can trust.
Yeah.
Period. And I'll pay whatever it takes, because I know you're not going to screw me.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. It looks like we've got the phone ringing. Let me take a call. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt. Are you there?
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Hi, guys. Hi, Matt.
Hi. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good, thank you. Over the weekend on a program, they were talking about, and I had never heard of this before, but it was for a car engine that has high mileage, a special oil. What could you tell us about that?
Well, I mean, they do make oil for high mileage vehicles, and a lot of times it's just, you know, we increase the weight of the oil. A lot of the times you'll see like 2050 oil or something like that, or it's manufactured for an engine with high mileage on it. But if it's got high mileage and it is what it is, there's a couple things we can look at that we can just look at real quickly and determine whether or not you really need to, the high mileage oil. A lot of the engines today requires a lot less weight oil because of the way it's manufactured. And if the engine's good, then just use that oil. Just use the oil that it's supposed to be.
This particular car was a 2005 Saab, had 160,000 miles on it, and the fellow that was selling the car said that he went to a straight 40 weight oil around 100,000. He was recommended to do that.
Well, I wouldn't recommend to do that myself. There's a lot of cars out there I don't consider 160,000 miles a high mileage car anymore. I got cars that come in with 600,000 miles on them now.
Wow.
Yeah. That
would be Larry, would it?
No.
I had 365 on the Chevy that I got rid of.
Did you really?
Yeah.
365.
I remember
That's a high mileage car.
Yeah, it is. My cars don't make it that high.
Bringing it in and taking a look at it and probably staying with the regular 5W 430.
Yeah, whatever the manufactured oil, which is usually the 5W30 or the 5W20. I would stay with it unless there's a reason to change it. And if there's a reason to change it, I don't care what kind of oil you're putting into it, you're going to have issues with it.
Okay. Would you recommend going to a synthetic at that mileage?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Matt changed my mind about synthetic. Thank you, Hugh. Appreciate that. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt Gibbs.
Hey, good morning, Matt and Larry. To touch back on what you were saying about these franchise quick oil change, quick brake job shops, I'm not a mechanic. I can wrench on an old Harley and an old Jeep, but I recommend people go to a known mom and pop garage that has been here for a while. Get the vehicle serviced. For $20 more, you can save yourself hundreds of dollars in the future. And there's a shop like Matt's and a few others in town. You don't mind recommending single women, not that Matt's a wolf or anything, but people that are going to be easily taken advantage of. Pay the extra $20, $30 for a full service. Have it done right.
Yes, I totally agree with you, and I pride myself. Any woman in this town could come to my shop and feel comfortable.
Yeah, I think
no, I'm serious because that's a big deal, man.
It is, it is.
But
I'm not comfortable sending my wife to anybody. I wouldn't do it.
No, I've had a few people come in and want to check it out first and see the demeanor of the place before they sent their wife down there.
Sure.
Yeah, you want a clean, neat atmosphere.
Yeah.
You want those things, well-lit areas. You want those things for your wife. I don't want...
Not only that, but
I
I don't let the guys put up the naked calendar, you get from the tool guys on their toolboxes and stuff like that. I think it's very disrespectful. And to be honest with you, 80% of the people that wait in my waiting room are women. So it needs to be something nice for them.
Yeah.
It smells good in his office
And
there,
all of
too.
Matt's tattoos are spelled correctly. And that's another sign of a good, caring shop. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day.
Is that true, Matt? Are they all spelled correctly?
I don't know. I haven't seen one yet. I put it in a place where I can't see it.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But still, the bottom line for me is trusting. And I think when you talk about the mechanic that's been around for a while, he makes a really good point. I mean, there's got to be a reason people keep going back.
Right.
You have the franchises, and I guess we could name some, but and I'm not saying they would be necessarily bad, but I mean somebody like yourself who's been around, and the fact that you do this to me helps a lot, because if the only important thing is whether you're going to be dealt with honestly, and in a nice environment, I mean what you just described about the female friendly part of it, that is important.
It is. It's important to me, and that's the key. Could there be a franchise quick break place or oil change place that has integrity? Yeah, there could be, but it all starts at the top, right? So if it's not all about the money. When I interview a mechanic or any employee at my shop, one of the things that I talk about is the money. In other words, how much money do you need to make? Because all of us have a need, a bottom line. And I tell them, be straight with me. I want to know what you need to make. Because I can tell them in a second what they need to do in order to make that kind of money, because our guys get paid by what they do. It's not about what they want; it's about what they need. And then I go right into, we don't worry about money here at Sunrise. We don't worry about money. We worry about customers. We take care of customers, and the money will take care of itself. So if you take care of the customer, everybody that comes
Absolutely,
in is
yeah.
could be potentially your customer. You take care of them, and you'll find out that the money will take care of
Oh, is
itself.
that typically what happens? The mechanic that works with your car is the one who stays
A
with your car?
lot of times,
Yeah.
a customer will say, "Hey, can you let Brian do this? Can you let Keith do
He's
this?"
familiar with the
Well,
car.
and-
He's had the basis with it.
And on
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
note, let me tell you, this is absolutely the honest truth. When I first brought my car to you after getting to know you, I said I want to bring my car to Matt, and it wasn't Matt that worked on my car. It was one of your other guys,
Right.
Phil, maybe.
Yeah, well, Phil is like the office manager.
Okay, so I don't really know who it was, but I remember thinking, well, it worked out okay, so I guess it doesn't really matter, because I'm guessing you've got oversight of all of your guys.
Absolutely.
So
Sometimes you lose oversight, but I'm in there as much as I possibly can be. I know everything that's going on.
Except between these hours of 9 and 10.
Well, I
10
get a
and 11.
report. See, at 10:32, I get a report text to my phone.
you got a GoPro. This
No,
thing.
he's got the cameras lined up like we do and can see everything that's going on.
Actually, I do.
The phone number is 622-WOCA if you'd like to call Matt right now and ask a car question. Last week, a lady called in and she asked about getting the foggy headlight lenses cleaned, and you said it was a $99 deal. That sounded really good to me, and I'm wondering how many. Did you have a lot of people respond to that?
No.
No,
Two.
really?
2 people.
Two? Well, that's better than none.
No, that's better than none.
But and did she show up herself? Or?
I don't
You
know
don't know?
if she did.
Because when I heard, I mean, I was driving down the road this morning, and there was a garbage truck coming the opposite direction, not at me, but on the other lane. And his lights were nice and bright. I said, I wonder if he went to Matt.
If he did,
Because I know mine need it. Mine need that treatment that you talked about.
yeah, I had sent out, and then one person came in. We did their headlights, and it looked so good that we ended up, because of all the love bug damage, we pulled the whole front bumper cover off. I sent it over to the body shop because he wanted that painted because it had all the love bug damage on
Really?
it. So,
Nice.
yeah.
So do you think if the vehicle inspection law was put back into place, do you think that most of these cars like mine with the foggy headlight lenses would fail?
No, it would probably pass.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's really bright enough. It
probably
feels like
pass.
when I'm driving at night, it's like I really need to get this fixed.
I know. I had an old van. My old van. My wife, she didn't like riding in my van.
Because of the headlights?
No, because it's just my old van.
Oh, okay.
And we had to go somewhere and she's like, "How do you even see in this thing?" You kind of get used to it, because you kind of go with
You
the
see
flow,
through the haze.
And
It's
and
progressive.
so the next day, I had my headlights done, and I was shocked. I could see.
So
What causes that? Did you guys talk about that last week?
Well, Larry has a theory behind that, which makes good sense. His question was, how come your headlights do it and your taillights don't?
And?
Well, because the taillights are on the back.
What's the question?
They're not hit by love bugs and sand.
It's got to be the wind and stuff, yeah.
Just wind and
Yeah.
sun exposure?
Yeah, the back ones are
Well, the
perfectly
back
clear.
ones got the same exposure to the sun.
They're not clear, though.
Well, some of them are.
Mine are. The ones for the backup lights, perfectly clear.
Oh, okay.
And they've just as old as the front ones.
So if you were to drive in reverse for the next 100,000 miles, they'd
I'm
get just as
thinking-
dirty?
yeah, I
That
think
was
they
what
would-
we said. We should
All right.
take that same plastic. Actually, my question was, why don't they put the plastic they use in the back and put it in the front?
So I was going to take like a taillight assembly and just like
put it on
wire
front?
tie it to my bumper
Nice.
and just see what happens.
I want to watch that. Put a GoPro by it.
How long do you
a
think
video.
it'll take? How long does it take for a brand new car to get a foggy
A couple
looking-
years probably.
Couple
They
years.
start getting nasty.
And they haven't fixed that yet. I mean, obviously now there is a fix, an aftermarket fix, but you would think the manufacturers
Well,
would
the
say.
manufacturer, stop and think about it. The manufacturer's not obligated to take care of make something last forever.
Have you ever heard that toothpaste will work?
I've heard all kinds of crazy things, and I have people stop in at the shop, and it's just 1, 2, 3 here. Wipe this on, wipe this on, wipe this off, put this on, and
But-
boom, there it is, like brand new.
But not.
No,
No, it doesn't work.
no, it takes a little bit more work than that.
Do they do the inside as well as the outside?
No.
Your guys?
No, there's no way to really get in the inside.
So if they got to need the inside, they need a new headlight. It's
Right.
cracked. There's been something
Right, there's
inside
something
there.
going on.
Oh, okay. So if it's foggy on
It's-
the
it's
inside,
on the
that's a
outside.
different kind of a foggy. There's something else going on.
Yeah, there's something else going on. There's actually little tubes inside the head. They're called composite headlight assemblies. Okay, is the proper name. They're not headlights. The headlight is just a little bulb.
Yeah, right.
They
Which you can't touch or it'll explode.
exactly.
Have you ever
Grease-
touched one?
The grease on your fingers, yeah.
Yeah.
They explode.
Oil.
I know it's cool, isn't it?
Well, I didn't have it on my headlight. You know where it happened? Because it's the same type of light. We have some spotlights that we used to use, Robin and I, years ago before we
Oh, halogens?
Little
The big halogens?
before we stopped doing stage stuff. But yeah, I touched it accidentally and put it. It was like a $20 or maybe a $30 bulb. Just gone.
There went $30.
So there was a story this morning. Can I squeeze this in? The top 3 selling cars right now. You ready for this? The
Yeah.
Toyota Corolla #1.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe. Boy, that was nice. Toyota Corolla #1. Ford Focus #2. Yeah, you guys don't get coffee. But the surprise is the Volkswagen Golf, the #3 car.
Right. Okay.
You don't like any of those cars, do you?
Well, I don't mind the first two.
Oh, really?
Volkswagen a pain in the butt.
I don't like European cars. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all you.
How about
Audi,
European
BMWs,
peanuts? Do you like
Volvo.
them?
Huh?
Do you like European peanuts?
No.
Okay.
No. I like my peanuts right here in America.
That's right. By God. Oh, boy.
It's a joke. Why does it hurt so much? Well, European peanuts. Oh, jeez, no wonder it hurt so much. All right.
I did that once.
Really?
It was a little peanut.
Okay.
It was a little thing. I thought I was going to die. Gave me a whole new appreciation for my wife.
Ah, here comes coffee.
Oh,
Here
kidney
comes
stone,
coffee.
yeah.
You made Joe feel bad.
Oh, okay. All right. Very nice.
I'm good, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Too funny. So let's see. Go to Matt. Don't worry about a coupon. Matt will treat you fairly. Simple as that.
Yes.
If you have foggy headlights, they can clean them for $99. You've got a car lot now, right? How many cars on the lot?
We probably got about 10.
You want to talk about one of them?
We got a 2010 Chevy Malibu LTZ with 50,000 miles. It's a really nice car.
Wow, that is nice.
And it's $15,900,
Wow.
priced right.
Wow.
It's all leathered up. It's got paddle shifters on the steering wheel. For all you car collector guys, I've got a 1996 Chevy Impala SS, the second year of the Impala.
Oh, wow.
With the floor shifter. It is automatic, but it has the floor shift with 9,500 miles. We're gonna sell that. We're pricing that car to sell. It's brand new
Wow.
for $17,000.
That is brand new. 9,500 miles?
9,500 miles.
Wow. So do you have, when you have something like that, do you have, of course you just got back into the car sale business, but you did it before. So do you have the guys who remake them and put them in the shows? Do they come and buy those kinds of cars?
Oh yeah. We've had some deal. We got a 1955 Ford Fairlane down there. We've had guys all the way from Georgia and stuff like that come down and take a look at this car and stuff like that. And then I have all the Pacificas and pickup trucks and all the stuff that we drive to the
Daily.
grocery store every day.
Yep.
All right, we'll go down to Sunrise Automotive, say hello to Matt and his crew, and they'll take care of you. Simple,
Where you at, Matt?
Simple as
We're
that.
at 1800 Northwest 10th Street, right here in Ocala, Florida.
I hope so.
And if you are with 2020, you're gonna fail. Matt's gonna pass the test. Put it that way. You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail trying to catch Matt at being dishonest. Thank you, Matt, as always.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA.
Lover soul, come ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate to break down the garden gate.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM.